I've had a chance to send a message to other therapists in NHS and in talking therapy services, it would probably be just to try the mindfulness thing yourself. The most powerful thing you can do is to experience it, to notice your own thoughts, whether that's about therapy or life, and then to bring that lived experience into the room. We all have down days, we all have anxieties and worries, and the chance for anybody to sit and pause and just notice what it's actually like to just be them and be with that almost always leads to some sort of change, whether it's recognising what they want from life, recognising thoughts that are popping up but actually don't need to be held on to so much, or just recognising, gosh, I'm really stressed right now. Like, whatever the impact, I think there's always something to be taken from mindfulness, no matter what someone arrives with expecting to get from therapy. Mindfulness became a part of my daily life, but also a really core part of my professional practice, because actually I didn't feel I could sit here and not offer mindfulness, given how much it had changed my life in every sense, really. The impact it's had is massive. It went from something I absolutely hated and couldn't stand and just felt so pointless and painful, actually, to something that now has let me not only come away from feeling miserable and suicidal, but into someone who actually enjoys life now and enjoys being part of it, and the people I meet and the things I do actually feel valuable again. And I wouldn't be able to do my job, I really believe, without mindfulness at least being part of what I'm offering.
Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy groups can be a great way to offer something to patients who've benefited from CBT for depression, but still have some residual symptoms. I think it's wonderful that it's a free resource to those who need it via the NHS, and wonderful for staff that this training opportunity is available as part of the national training programme. I think it's a real privilege to be able to do this as part of our working lives. You learn so much about the processes of change that are applicable not just for depression, but across all the psychological problems that we treat in NHS Talking Therapies. And we also learn so much personally about our own experience. So I think, regardless of whether you're treating depression or not, it makes you a better therapist to have conducted this programme. It makes you more present, more aware, more responsive, more attentive, and we're actively recruiting staff who've completed the mindfulness training programme because they offer so much.
I decided to train as a teacher because I could just see from the groups that we were running the results that it had with the patients. We had groups of patients that came in with quite chronic conditions, feeling quite hopeless. And around session 5 or 6, there was an absolute shift in how they felt, how they saw themselves, their bodies. And that for me made me feel like I really want to help teach this now. I want to know more, and I want to train. When you do the training, you have to go on a retreat, a silent retreat. That's revolutionary. To be in silence for 4 to 5 days, really embedding your practice, learning about the background of the practice, and actually being with people, but in a very different way to how you would be otherwise, where you're connected, but not necessarily on a verbal level. I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I could do silence either. But there is so many opportunities to really learn from the teachers. There's support, there's confidence, there's everything that you need to be able to complete your training and facilitate groups in your services.
So the MBCT teacher training course takes place over a year. It includes 12 days of training, a residential retreat, and then 2 courses that the trainees will be teaching within their services that are supported by experienced mindfulness supervisors. And then it finishes with an assessment of competency at the end. Most clinicians report that the training in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy really supports them with their existing cognitive behavioural therapy interventions, as well as how much of an effect it has personally as well. In busy NHS services, you're often got quite a high caseload and there's a lot of stress, and it's really about learning practices that are going to support you on an ongoing basis throughout your life.